Myles Garrett, a name that sends chills down the spine of quarterbacks across the NFL, a physical specimen with unparalleled power and speed that's been dominating offensive lines since the moment he stepped onto the field. But just how good is Myles Garrett? Born on December 29th, 1995 in Arlington, Texas, Myles Garrett always stood out, but football wasn't his only passion. Before becoming one of the most dominant defensive players in the game, Garrett had dreams of becoming a paleontologist. That's right, before terrorizing quarterbacks, he was obsessed with fossils and dinosaurs. But his athletic abilities were undeniable. By the time he was 14, he stood at impressive 6'4" and weighed around 240 pounds. However, it wasn't until high school that he fully committed to football, setting the foundation for what would become a legendary career. He attended Martin High School, where Garrett became a force of nature. In his senior year, he recorded 19.5 sacks and earned the 2013 Landry Award as the best high school player in the Dallas, Texas area, and became the first person in school history to be drafted to the NFL. His rare combination of size, speed, and explosiveness made him a 5-star recruit and a top prospect in Texas. He had multiple scholarship offers from schools like Alabama, Arkansas, Baylor, Arizona State, and even strongly considered attending these programs before ultimately committing to Texas A&M, a decision that would set the stage for his big rise. From the moment he stepped onto the field for Texas A&M in 2014, Garrett was a nightmare for offensive linemen. As a freshman, he broke the SEC freshman sack record with 11.5 sacks. His second year was even better, recorded 20 tackles for loss, 12.5 sacks, an interception, and forced 5 fumbles. By the time his college career ended, he had 32.5 sacks, 49 tackles for loss, 84 solo tackles, forced 7 fumbles, and a reputation as one of the most dominant edge rushers in college football history. His performance earned him unanimous All-American honors and cemented his status as the consensus #1 pick in the 2017 NFL Draft. With the first pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns selected Myles Garrett. Expectations were sky high, but he wasted no time proving he was worth the hype. As a rookie, despite missing time due to injury, he recorded 7 sacks in just 11 games. From there, his dominance only grew. His second season in 2018, he broke out with 13.5 sacks, forced 3 fumbles, and 29 quarterback hits with 35 solo tackles. The following season, he was on pace for another dominant season before a controversial suspension that would cut his season short. The suspension was caused after Myles Garrett hit then Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph in the head with his own helmet. In the 10 games he played, he ended up having 10 sacks, 18 quarterback hits, with 2 forced fumbles, and 20 solo tackles. 11 of those were tackles for loss. In 2020, he played in 14 games and missed a few due to COVID. Garrett still posted 12 sacks, forced 4 fumbles, recovered 2 of those, and 18 quarterback hits. The following season in 2021, he set a franchise record with 16 sacks, alongside with 33 quarterback hits and 33 solo tackles, which 17 of those were tackles for loss. He also forced 1 fumble and recovered it to return it for his first defensive touchdown. The next season, he matched that total with another 16 sacks and added 26 quarterback hits with 37 solo tackles and 18 tackles for loss, proving his elite consistency. Year after year, Garrett has been a nightmare for offensive tackles. He's been named to multiple Pro Bowls, earned 6 first-time All-Pro honors in 8 seasons with more to come, and has consistently ranked among the league's top pass rushers. But just how good has he been compared to the league's best? Since entering the league, Myles Garrett has racked up over 100 sacks, making him one of the fastest players to ever reach that milestone. In 2023, he was named the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, finishing with 14 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 30 QB hits, 17 tackles for loss, and 33 solo tackles, a dominating performance that season. Well, in 2024 alone, Garrett was dominating, recorded 14 sacks, 22 tackles for loss, with a career high of 40 solo tackles and forced 3 fumbles with 1 fumble recovery. His impact isn't just reflected in the numbers. His presence alone changes the way offenses operate. Pro Football Focus graded him at 92.3 overall, ranking him second among all edge rushers. His pass rush win rate, a staggering 23.1%, meaning nearly a quarter of the time he beats his blocker. That level of dominance is unheard of. Garrett isn't just great, he's a game changer. Teams have to double team him, sometimes even triple team him, yet he still finds ways to wreak havoc. His combination of speed, power, and technique makes him nearly unblockable. And let's not forget, this man ran a 4.64 seconds 40-yard dash at 272 pounds. That level of athleticism is terrifying for any offense. But here's where things get interesting. Recent reports suggest that Myles Garrett may be looking for a way out of Cleveland, hoping to join a true Super Bowl contender. If that's the case, his departure could send shockwaves through the league. Imagine him pairing up with another elite defense. Some very scary stuff. I've heard the Bills might be a good place, even the Detroit Lions won't be bad. The Dallas Cowboys, who already have a dominant defense led by Micah Parsons, could make a move for him. He can also end up with the 49ers. A team built on defensive prowess could look to add Garrett to their stacked roster, but I would love for him to come to Washington, and the Commanders do have a high chance of picking up the phone and making a move. Wherever he goes, one thing is certain, he will transform any defense into an unstoppable force. So really, how good is Myles Garrett? Well, the numbers speak for themselves. He's already one of the greatest pass rushers of his generation, and he's still in his prime. If he stays healthy, he could go down as one of the greatest defensive players in NFL history, and his football thinking skills are just amazing as well.
I'm just looking at my brody, silence at the time, and no girl don't even know me. I'm always on the mind, I'm just out here getting money, and so that's on my mind.